From Studio B, this is WGALA Brainbusters. Now, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to WGALA Brainbusters. It's a pleasure to welcome you to another exciting match here on our show. Now, if you've been tracking along in our tournament, you know that we've advanced to round 2, where victorious teams are returning for another chance to showcase their talents. Today, we are welcoming back 2 dynamic players. They were really strong competitors, and they outshined their worthy opponents in round 1. So today, it's up to Central Dauphin and Trinity. They're going to face each other. So let's get our intellect and quick thinking wheels in motion, because here comes today's opening round. We have 10-point questions. Guys, you know how to play, you know how to win. It's always a pleasure to see familiar faces. Let's get to work now with this 10-point question. Yalu, Inchon, and Pork Chop Hill were all battles fought in this war, which began while Harry Truman was president. Which war was it? Natalie?
Korean War.
Korean War is correct for 10 points. His lesser-known works include The Sea of Cortez, Sweet Thursday, Tortilla Flat, and Cannery Row. Who was this Nobel Prize-winning U.S. author? Well, Alex.
Upton Sinclair.
Not he, no, sorry. And the idea of Central Dauphin. Oh, we stumped you on John Steinbeck. Many scientists believe that a giant crash killed off the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. What do they think hit the Earth? Ethan.
A meteor?
Not a meteor, no. Sorry, it's Sarab.
An asteroid?
No, sorry, it's a comet. He starred in 55 cartoons between 1946 and 1959, in a long-running comic book, and in a 1995 movie set in a gloomy Whipstaff Manor. Who is this friendly ghost? Natalie.
Casper.
Casper's correct. It was powered by liquid oxygen and alcohol, reached an altitude of 50 miles, and could travel 120 miles. In the summer of 1944, Germans unleashed this new weapon on Great Britain, blitzing London. What was this first successful rocket? We stumped you both on the V2. Oklahoma City is one of the 2 U.S. state capitals that include the name of the state. Name the other. Oh, it's going to be obvious when I tell you Indianapolis. The old French word emboucher means to hide in the woods. What modern English word derives from emboucher? Alex?
Ambush.
Ambush is correct. Yes, Sirius XM has a station devoted to this classic rock band, so you don't need a miracle to listen to Jerry, Bob, Phil, Bill, and Mickey. What jam band is known for I Need a Miracle, Touch of Grey, and Friend of the Devil? Elijah.
Mumford & Sons?
No, sorry. Incorrect. Any idea? Trinity. Oh, we stumped you on the Grateful Dead. New Year's is a big deal everywhere. When that big ball comes down on December 31st, 2024, how many days will there have been in 2024? Ethan.
366?
366, of course, because it's a leap year. We hear Schiller's Ode to Joy in the final movement of his 9th symphony, but its composer could not. Who was this deaf musician, Alex?
Beethoven.
Beethoven, Ludwig van Beethoven. In 1787, he declares, a little rebellion now and then is a good thing. 20 years later, he apparently forgot his own words when he ordered the arrest of Aaron Burr for treason. Which president was he? Alex?
Adams.
Not he, no, sorry. Central Dauphin? Oh, we stumped you on Thomas Jefferson. Popular musicals are sometimes based on classical sources. For example, Rent became a 2005 movie based on La Boheme. What musical version of Madame Butterfly was set during the Vietnam War? Natalie?
Miss Saigon.
Miss Saigon is correct for 10 points. If you're a pro, you'll earn an appropriate number of points for identifying a word beginning with P-R-O. In a theater, it forms the arch that separates the stage from the audience. Oh, we stumped you on proscenium. Since 2021, she has been president of the Senate. Who is this former senator from California? Elijah.
Nancy Pelosi.
Not she. No, sorry. Ethan.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, the vice president, always presides over the Senate. It's the capital of the Cayman Islands. It's the oldest section of Washington, D.C. It's the capital of the South American country of Guyana. What's the name? Paul.
Alexandria.
No, not Alexandria. Sorry, Ethan.
Georgetown?
Georgetown is the correct answer. A lot of people take it for, We won't get to that question or any more questions in that round. A little faltering for Central Dauphin, but it's early on because we have a lot more game coming up, including the one-on-one rapid fire and the fuel-pumped 60-second team lightning round. So we'll get ready for those rounds while you watch these very important messages.
WGAL8 Brainbusters will return after this. The final 4 teams in the WGAL8 Brainbusters tournament will win cash grants. The 3rd and 4th place teams will receive $1,000 each. The 2nd place team will receive $3,000. And the WGAL8 Brainbusters champions will receive $5,000 in grant money. Now, here's Rich with our coaches and alternates.
Well, hi, everyone. If you're just joining us, we are in round 2 with Central Dauphin and Trinity. But as you can see, the scores are a little bit shy to get Central Dauphin on the board. But it's early on, and we have a lot more game left. But right now, we're going to pause from the action to meet some very important people, behind-the-scenes people, if you will, our coaches who are able to field, a strong team like this. I know your team is starting out slow, but it's early on, and we'll get them going coming up in the next rounds of play. But you've taught 6 years so far, so let's say 200 days out of the year, so 1,200 days you've had. What do you consider like a good day in teaching?
So with science, a lot of times like having something where students can kind of relate to it, like a real world example, having activities where they get to interact with each other and communicate with you, days where they get to show their personality and kind of show who they are as people, and also days where you can tell that there was learning that was done, so that you know that in a couple days they're able to kind of demonstrate what they know, they're able to demonstrate what they were able to pick up, and they can walk away kind of knowing that they learned something and knowing that they had a good time.
I know it's going to impact their lives forever. There's no question. And just the kinesthetic work that's so involved with science, and it's so exciting, lab work, and I'm sure with, I think you teach earth science as well, so there's so much opportunity for hands-on opportunities. Well, thanks for sharing. Thanks for bringing such a strong team, and we're going to get them going beginning in round 2. But now, let's move over to Trinity, and we have 2 coaches here. For Miss Kerstetter, she's Senora Kerstetter. She teaches Spanish. But it's important to note, like, your husband is also a teacher, so you have like a really strong education household.
We do, yes.
What's that like? Is he a high school teacher as well?
He is, yes.
Do you swap stories? Do you consult with each other?
Yes. We're able to support one another and talk about successes as well as maybe strategies to help students who need some help.
So you can get your frustrations out, and somebody will really understand, even though I know teaching at Trinity is just never frustrating.
And also, my husband's taught AP for at least 20 years, and this is my 3rd year teaching AP Spanish. So as AP teachers, it's nice to be able to talk to him.
Oh, it's fantastic that they continue with AP in Spanish, and the students are continuing to learn Spanish and any foreign language. Mr. Sansone, he teaches chemistry at Trinity. It's great to welcome you back. And, we sort of tease about it, but there is a lot of planning and in-service that goes on in the summer, but you do have some time off during the summer. What do you do during the summer then?
Well, I don't know if all of my students know, but I have 4 young children at home. And my wife actually works for West Shore School District summer program all summer long. And so it's me and the kids. And we do a lot of science in the summer, and we do some practice for what I'm going to do in the upcoming year.
Fantastic. It's great to have a teacher as a parent, there's no doubt. Thanks for coming here. Thank you, Mr. DeVenti. Well, it's time now to get back to work and pit our individual players against each other in today's one-on-one rapid fire. It also gives us a chance to talk to our players and find out what's going on in their busy lives. First, Paul Marker. You're from Central Dauphin. You did very well in our first round when you met your first team. We're going to get you back on the board. But I first want to find out a little bit about you. You are passionate guy, and you have a lot of fun outside of school besides your education. So what do you do for fun outside of school?
So outside of school, I do usually just a lot of exercise. I play a lot of soccer. I run track. I do quiz bowl, obviously, and I have a job, so I work about half the time outside of school.
So you're on the school's sports teams as well as have a job. That's a huge commitment, because I know the coaches really demand a lot of your time.
Yeah, they do.
And you're able to juggle it around. All right, well, nice to have you here. Natalie Goss, you are a junior at Trinity. It's so nice to have you. You did very well in that first round of play. And now, you wrote on your biographical set your favorite movie is a movie that was produced before you were even born.
Yeah, Clue is my favorite.
Clue, okay. And tell us, what is so appealing to you about Clue?
I just love that the actors are legitimately having fun, and it's also based off of my favorite board game. And
It's a spoof.
all the endings. It's
Well, when you
just
say
so
all the
fun.
endings, there are 3 endings. Now, when I went to see it, you didn't know which ending you were going to get. So you say you have seen all 3 endings?
Yes, and I watched it on streaming when I first watched it, and it played all the endings in an order.
Well, I'm going to have to look for it. Thank you very much for enlightening us. Natalie and Paul, hopefully you're going to be enlightened when we put you 2 one-on-one. The northernmost, westernmost, and highest points in the United States are all in the same state. Which one, Natalie?
Alaska.
Alaska's correct. No law varying the compensation for services of the senators and representatives shall take effect until an election of the representatives shall have intervened. Which amendment to the Constitution is this? The last. Natalie again.
The 27th.
The 27th is the last amendment, yes. And finally, B is 2 vertical dots, C is 2 horizontal dots, G is 4 dots arranged in a square. What is this alphabet created in 1829? Natalie.
Braille.
Braille. You dominated all 3 of those questions. Good for you, giving a strong lead to your team. Now let's meet our 2 captains. First, it's a pleasure to welcome back Eli Mackey. That's great.
Yes.
And you are a senior. It's great to have you here. Now, last time we talked about your amazing training that you do. But you have some goals. We all do. You're a senior. We'd love to hear about what your future goals are.
Yeah, my future goals are I want to go to the University of Akron. It's in Ohio. And then I'd like to become a chemical engineer. That's actually the degree I'm trying to go for.
And what's helped you select University of Akron?
I visited the campus, and it was just one of the places I felt most comfortable and enjoyed the most.
And it's far enough away from home, but it's close enough so you
to
can
visit.
still come.
Yep.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Good luck to you. I know that school is lucky to get a student like you. Ethan Brown is a senior and the captain from the team from Trinity. Great to have you here. Now, high school. It's ending for you soon. There's going to be a couple more months left. What are you looking forward to most post-high school?
Yeah, so I'm a big college football fan, so one thing I'm really looking forward to is going to the big college games with like loud environments and everything. Yeah.
They can be fun. I'm a University of Michigan grad, and I'll tell you, it was always a big day. The campus basically closes down. All right, Ethan and Elijah, 2 E's. Let's put you 2 one-on-one. Most colonial empires are gone, but some European countries still hold colonies. What European country owns the Caribbean islands of Aruba and Curacao? Ethan.
The Netherlands?
The Netherlands does, yes. Rediscovered in the 14th century, it was perfected in the 15th century by artists who wanted to represent objects in 3 dimensions. What artistic technique did they develop? Elijah.
Shading?
Not shading, no. Shading is used in that. Oh, Ethan.
Sculptures?
No. It's perspective is the correct response. And finally, he was the first black man to win an Academy Award for Best Actor. He starred in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and In the Heat of the Night, Lilies of the Field, and To Sir with Love. Who was this trailblazing actor and civil rights activist who died in January 2022? Well, one of the greatest actors of our time, Sidney Poitier. Okay, we still have to get Central Dauphin on the board, and maybe we can do it now as we meet our final players in today's competition. So first, it's a pleasure to welcome back Sarab Adhikari. You are a senior. It's great to have you here. And I'm going to put you on the spot because I know you're just a fantastic student, but there's something that you must be really good at. What really stands out?
So I have a really easy time fitting in and finding the group of people. Like each class that I go to, I always have like a specific group of people that I can fit in with, and that really helps me in my education.
That's fantastic. So you have a solid group of friends.
Yeah.
You know, and I know in high school you keep switching classes, but everybody still comes together. Sarab, I bet you make a great friend. Alexandra Mayernick is a junior from Trinity, and it's great to welcome you back. And you know, I'm always so pleased to know that young people are listening to news. But I'm always curious about where do you get your news from?
Well, I listen to the news in my car on my way to school in the morning.
So on the radio, so you keep up, are you up on current events?
I like to think so.
Okay. But of course, when you're watching local news on TV,
Of course.
you're watching WGAL 8, of course. Alex and Sarab, let's put you two one-on-one. In Arizona, it flows along the borders with Nevada and California. What river is this named for yet another state? Sarab?
Mississippi River.
Not the Mississippi, no. Sorry. Alex.
Colorado.
It's the Colorado River is correct, yes. Off to geometry class. What is the measure of an interior angle of an equilateral triangle? Alex.
60.
60. 60 plus 60 plus 60. And finally, fruit sugar is fructose. What is milk sugar? Alex.
Lactose.
Lactose, like being lactose intolerant. You dominated those questions. Good for you. 0 to 150. We're now going to pick up the pace and play today's 60-second team lightning round. So, Elijah, it's up to you to select among one of these three quizzes. Turn of the century movies, potpourri with a capital D, and a number of things.
A number of things.
A number of things. Quizzes can be about any number of things, and here's a quiz about numbers. So for 10 points each, provide the number of things in each of these groups. Eli, take your answers to the team's answer. Paul and Sarab are ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. And here we go. The number of books or plays in a trilogy.
3.
Correct. The number of basic states of matter.
4.
No, there's 3. The number of months that begin with the letter J.
2.
3. Number of red stripes on the U.S. flag.
13.
7. The number of days and nights of the Great Flood according to the Bible. 40. The number of nickels in $5.
20.
100. The number of even prime numbers.
1.
1. Yes, the number of years in the American Civil War.
6.
4. The number of basic positions of the arms and legs in ballet.
Pass.
5. The number of hours in a week. That's 24/7.
168.
That's correct. The number of years celebrated in a silver anniversary.
15.
25. The number of Nobel Prizes.
3.
6. The number of executive departments on the President Biden's cabinet.
9.
15. The number of different instruments in a string quartet.
4.
3. The number of... Oh, boy. So we had 3 correct, so 30 points came your way. Is this a break for you? We're going to find out. Would you like potpourri with a capital D or turn of the century movies?
Potpourri with a capital D.
Potpourri with a capital D. It's delightful, it's demanding, it's demonic. For 10 points each, identify these people, places, and things whose names all begin with a capital D. Ethan, I take your answers, the team's answer. Natalie and Alex are ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. Hamlet is prince of this country in Shakespeare's play.
Denmark.
Denmark, yes. June 6, 1944, when
D-Day.
D-Day, yes. She took a Philistine bride and cut Samson's hair.
Delilah.
Delilah did. Canadian rapper whose single One Dance topped the Billboard.
Drake.
Drake is correct. John Hancock was the first to sign this document.
Declaration of Independence.
Correct. This 3-letter word can precede Giovanni, Juan, Quixote.
Don.
Don is correct. A count from Transylvania.
Dracula.
Dracula, yes, from a popular song of the day. This became a nickname for the Confederate state.
Dixie.
Dixie or Dixieland, yes. The Spanish surrealist painted The Persistence of Memory.
Pass.
Salvador Dali. The lowest point in the Western Hemisphere is this desert basin.
Valley.
Death Valley is correct. The arid, eroded areas of the Great Plains in the 1930s.
Desert.
The Dust Bowl. 3,000 years old, this city is Syria's capital.
Damascus.
Damascus is correct. The oldest and simplest order of classical Greek architecture. That was Doric. We had 10 correct, 100 points came your way. It's time now to reveal today's bonus Brainbuster category. So during our break, our teams will wager 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of art legacies. That's an interesting category. So we'll have the bonus Brainbuster and, of course, the all-important Final Frenzy when the intellectual ride on WGAL 8 Brainbusters continues following this.
Watch all this season's episodes of WGAL 8 Brainbusters anytime on WGAL.com. Our online home also includes our tournament schedule and a chance to learn more about the show and host Rich Rosen. Go to WGAL.com and click on Brainbusters.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back as we continue our competition between Central Dauphin and Trinity. But it's now time for today's bonus Brainbuster. During our break, our teams wagered 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of art legacies. We're going to head into the News 8 newsroom with Lori Burkhalter. She has today's question. Lori, welcome back.
Thanks, Rich. Now here's your bonus brain buster. In 1885, this great jeweler in St. Petersburg, Russia, created the first of these Easter eggs for the Russian imperial family. What firm founded in 1842 is famous for designing elaborate jewel-encrusted eggs for Russian czars? Again, in 1885, this great jeweler in St. Petersburg, Russia, created the first of these Easter eggs for the Russian imperial family. What firm founded in 1842 is famous for designing elaborate jewel-encrusted eggs for Russian czars? Good luck with your answer. Now back to you in the studio. Rich?
Thank you, Lori. Good luck, teams. We'll give you about 5 seconds, although I think both teams were eager to write their answer down. Eli, are you ready to show us?
I think
Fabergé. Good for you. You are absolutely correct. We're going to add 25 points to your score. You did come up with Fabergé, but only a 10-point wager. Adding 10 points to your score, 55 to 250. Okay, all the marbles are coming up. You can still do this, Central Dauphin. It's time now for today's final frenzy. We have 20-point question. In the spiritual realm, it's a chanted syllable used to focus the mind in meditation. In the physical world, it is the SI, Alex. Ohm, it's the SI unit of electrical resistance. The largest and most visible full moon of the year occurs when the moon comes closest to the Earth. What name is given to that point? Alex, again.
Supermoon?
No, not the supermoon. What given to that point in the moon's orbit, Central Dauphin? Sarab.
The eclipse?
No, sorry, it's called the perigee. In 1732, at the age of 32, he became engaged to the 16-year-old daughter of a fellow congressman. She jilted him. 10 years later, he married a Philadelphia widow named Dolly Payne Todd. Who was this president? Ethan.
Abraham Lincoln?
Not he, no. Sorry. Any idea? We stumped you on James Madison in 1923 after Turkey declared itself a republic. The capital moved from Istanbul to a new custom-built capital. Natalie?
Ankara.
Ankara is the new and current capital. To determine the area of a circle, you need only construct a right triangle with the same area. If one leg is equal to the Earth's radius, how long is the other leg? Sarab?
The same.
Nope, sorry. No, we stumped you on it's the circumference of the circle, or 2 pi r. In 1995, Rebecca Elizabeth Marrier became the first woman in the 193-year history of this school to graduate first in her class, just like P.G.T. Beauregard and Douglas MacArthur. What is this New York Academy? Natalie?
West Point.
West Point is correct. Its state bird is the cactus wren. Its official fossil is petrified wood. It was the last of the continental United States to enter the Union. Which state is it?
Arizona.
Arizona, yes. Arizona entered 1 month, the 48th state in 1922, 1 month after New Mexico. When Babe Ruth hit his 700th home run in 1934, everyone agreed that no one would ever break the record in the MLB since the time only 2 other players had ever hit more than 300 home runs. Who holds the record of 762 home runs in his career? We stumped you on Barry Bonds. The Long War left the German states devastated. What war was ended by the Peace of Westphalia in 1648? That's the 30 Years' War. This historic region became world famous again in 1992 when its capital, Barcelona, hosted the 1992 Summer Olympics. And we were going for Catalonia. Well, that sound takes us to the end of the round and to the end of the game. It looks like we are going to see Trinity for round 3, but we hope to see you in just a few short moments for some final words, so don't go away.
Scorekeeping for WGAL8 Brainbusters, presented by Jennings College Consulting, where students discover the right college fit for the future. We'll return after this. Welcome back to WGAL8 Brainbusters, the Susquehanna Valley's longest-running high school quiz show. Once again, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. A heartfelt congratulations to Trinity. Boy, you dominated those buzzers, and you are going to return for round 3. Now, coming up on the next WGAL 8 Brainbusters, we're excited to welcome back two very strong teams, and that's Ephrata and Warwick. And they are going to come back for a chance to face each other and see which team will return for round 3. Now, we say a fond farewell to Central Dauphin. We cherish your participation and hope you enjoyed yourself and your team will return next season. We thank you very much for being here. From all of us, Jackie, Malena, and of course our scorekeeper, Dr. Peggy Jennings, and Mark Krebs, our director. We'll see you next time on WGAL 8 Brainbusters. So long, everyone.